Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we're diving into No Drama Discipline by Daniel J. Siegel and Payne Bryson, a transformative book that redefines the approach to disciplining children. Moving away from traditional punishment, Siegel and Bryson introduce a method deeply rooted in neuroscience that focuses on teaching and connection rather than reprimand. This approach not only aims to minimize conflict, but also fosters a stronger, more understanding relationship between parents and their children. Daniel J. Siegel, a renowned psychiatrist at the UCLA School of Medicine and the mind behind the Mindful Awareness Research Center, together with Payne Bryson, an experienced social worker and founder of the Center for Connection, bring their extensive expertise to offer readers effective strategies for dealing with children's behavioral issues. Their combined knowledge provides a solid foundation for the techniques presented in the book. No Drama Discipline is geared towards a wide audience, including parents seeking to replace yelling and punishment with a more compassionate approach, therapists, educators, counselors, or coaches who work closely with children and aim to understand better and guide their development, and anyone interested in the intricacies of mind development and how discipline can be used constructively. Join us in exploring how no drama discipline can transform the challenges of parenting into opportunities for growth, leading to a peaceful and enriching family life. No Drama Discipline, the whole brain way to calm the chaos and nurture your child's developing mind. Introduction. Discover the secrets to becoming a more effective parent. Parenting is undoubtedly one of the most rewarding journeys one can embark on, yet it poses its fair share of challenges. At times, striking the right balance between allowing your children the freedom to express themselves and knowing when to step in and guide them can seem like walking a tightrope. Furthermore, navigating the complex terrain of discipline can often feel like a battle, fraught with emotional upheaval. Minor disputes, whether they're about chores or screen time, have a way of spiraling into significant conflicts, placing strain on both your relationship with your child and your mental health. This is where the art of positive discipline comes into play. The cornerstone of effective parenting, as detailed by the authors, lies in an in-depth understanding of the brain's mechanics. By embracing this knowledge, you'll find that not only do your disciplining efforts become more effective, but your parent-child relationship will also experience newfound strength and connectivity. In this narrative, you'll delve into critical insights such as grasping the distinction between the brains upstairs and downstairs, mastering the art of connecting with your child on a deeper level, and learning the steps to take when faced with a child's meltdown. These insights aim to transform the way you approach parenting, making the journey a more harmonious and fulfilling one for both you and your child. Part 1. Transforming Discipline from Punishment to Valuable Life Lessons. Recall the most recent moment you had to discipline your child. Did your reaction involve a stern lecture, an elevated voice volume, or maybe even a timeout? It's moments like these that prompt a pivotal question. What is the true objective behind our disciplinary actions? The traditional route to discipline often leans on a blend of punishment and instilling fear, bypassing a more critical focus on the child's developmental needs. Let's take a closer look at the timeout as an example. This widely embraced strategy, even among the most caring parents, assumes that children will use their timeout to ponder their misdeeds. However, the reality is often quite different. Instead of self-reflection, children might end up harboring feelings of resentment towards their parents, further inflaming the situation. Spanking presents another traditional disciplinary tactic that tends to miss the mark. This method may succeed in instilling fear, but it diverts the child's attention away from introspection regarding their actions and towards fear of the potential consequences. This approach is not only counterproductive, but also fosters a climate of fear and resent within the family dynamic. What if we shifted our perspective and started viewing discipline not as a punitive measure, but as a valuable teaching opportunity? This paradigm shift calls for a discipline strategy focused more on education than punishment, characterized by intentionality and adaptability. The concept of no drama discipline emerges with a new blueprint for guiding children. Be proactive, not reactive. The immediate aim is fostering cooperation from your child, with a broader vision of nurturing their ability to self regulate and enhance interpersonal skills over the long term. To accomplish this, the strategies of connect and redirect come into play, highlighting the importance of establishing a connection with your child before steering them towards healthier behavior patterns. By framing behavioral mishaps as teachable moments rather than occasions for discipline, we pave the way for a future where disciplinary interventions become less frequent and more impactful. Through this enlightened approach, discipline evolves into a conduit for imparting lifelong lessons rather than a mere reaction to unwanted behavior. Part 2. Embracing misbehavior as a development opportunity through the brain's malleability. Have you ever found yourself snapping at someone simply because you were exhausted? Despite your best efforts to maintain composure, fatigue just pushed you over the edge. Children experience similar challenges, primarily because their emotional regulation sector, the brain's upstairs, is still in the process of maturing. From the moment we enter the world, the foundational levels of our brain, or what we refer to as the downstairs brain, are significantly more developed. This area takes care of our essential physiological operations, like breathing and digestion. However, the upstairs brain, responsible for higher order functions such as empathy and managing our emotions, is relatively undeveloped at birth. Thanks to a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity, which allows our brains to adapt and grow based on our experiences, there's a window of opportunity to influentially mold the upstairs brain as it matures. Given this capacity for evolution, it's critical to view instances of misbehavior not as mere defiance needing punishment, but as golden opportunities for fostering development. Consider the scenario of Liz and her family, featuring her daughters Nina and Vera. One morning's chaos erupts as Nina vehemently protests against her father driving her to school, insisting that only her mother can take her. Rather than escalating the tantrum by responding with frustration, Liz opts to activate Nina's upstairs brain by offering comfort through a hug. Nina, still upset, finds herself facing a calm yet firm explanation from her mother, who, while empathizing with her distress, communicates that today, Mom simply cannot fulfill her wish. Liz then presents Nina with a choice: willingly get into the car or have Dad assist her. Although the situation culminates with Nina being carried to the car by her father, Liz's approach to offering a choice amidst the uproar served as a valuable developmental lesson rather than a punitive reaction. This exemplifies a profound shift in perspective, recognizing misbehavior as a developmental checkpoint rather than an obstacle, leveraging the malleable nature of the brain to guide our children through their emotional landscapes. Part 3. Cultivating connection, the key to adaptive discipline and brain integration. The art of effective discipline goes beyond mere rules and consequences. It's fundamentally rooted in the nurturing bond between a parent and a child. Establishing this bond hinges on our ability to guide our children from states of heightened reactivity to calm receptivity, particularly in moments of misbehavior or emotional turmoil. When kids act out or experience emotional meltdowns, they are operating from what's known as the reactive state, with their downstairs brain, the seat of basic emotions and instincts, taking the wheel. Reprimanding them or dismissing their feelings during such times can lead to a sense of alienation, exacerbating the problem rather than ameliorating it. The alternative, and a more constructive approach, lies in making a heartfelt connection that transitions them into a more open, receptive state. Offering a comforting presence can effectively appeal to their downstairs brain, encouraging cooperation and readiness to learn, even though it might not happen instantaneously. This practice of connecting rather than correcting does more than just pacify the situation momentarily. It plays a critical role in brain integration. Integration is a process where multiple brain regions, including both the emotional downstairs and the rational upstairs brain, are activated and harmonized, fostering the development of crucial coping mechanisms like emotional regulation. Take, for example, the situation with Michael and his son, Matthias, a 5-year-old who reacted to a perceived slight by his brother by throwing a box of Lego. Michael approached the outburst not with reprimand, but with an attempt to dial down Matthias's emotional upheaval by physically comforting him. This embrace allowed Matthias to express his feelings, paving the way for a conversation about his actions. Michael's approach did more than just calm Matthias. It encouraged his son's brain to integrate by utilizing both emotional and rational responses, setting the stage for more adaptive behavior in the future. Adopting this connecting strategy not only equips children with the tools to handle their emotions more effectively, but also strengthens the relational fabric between parent and child, planting the seeds for emotional resilience and healthy behavioral patterns that will flourish over time. Part 4. Fostering deeper bonds: communication, validation, and listening. In the journey of parenting, establishing deep connections with your children during their moments of misbehavior is critical. This bond is forged not merely through proximity, but through meaningful engagement, listening intently, offering comfort, and validating their feelings, especially during testing times. Communicating comfort can take many forms, but it often starts without words. A gentle nod, a warm hug, or simply being physically present can send powerful signals of comfort to a child in distress. Yet, verbal affirmation plays a critical role as well. One transformative method to affirm their feelings is by recognizing and naming the emotions they are experiencing, which in itself can be profoundly comforting. Consider the experience shared by a listener of the author's radio show. Her 19-year-old daughter called, overwhelmed by a combination of financial worries, academic pressures, and the physical toll of therapy. The mother, initially inclined to minimize her daughter's concerns, remembered the crucial advice on forming connections. Instead of dismissing her feelings, she chose to acknowledge her daughter's distress, offering a simple, heartfelt, "I'm sorry you're going through this. Would a hug help?" This not only validated her daughter's struggles, but also opened a channel for emotional support and understanding. At the heart of this connection lies attentive listening. It's not enough to hear the words. The goal is to understand the emotion behind them and reflect it back in a way that makes your child feel truly heard. Imagine your 6-year-old daughter comes to you, tears in her eyes, proclaiming her hatred for her brother due to his relentless teasing. This is a prime moment for connection. Listen to her, allow her to express her frustration, and then mirror her sentiments back to her without judgment. It's imperative to acknowledge her feelings of anger as natural, while carefully avoiding affirming negative sentiments towards her brother. By doing so, you are recognizing her emotional reality, but also gently guiding her perspective towards the love she inherently feels for her sibling. Through practices of comforting communication, heartfelt validation, and reflective listening, parents can build stronger, more empathetic connections with their children, laying the groundwork for a relationship founded on mutual understanding and respect. Part 5. Embracing flexibility in discipline, a tripartite approach. At the heart of the no-drama discipline philosophy lies the principle of response flexibility. This means tailoring your disciplinary approach to suit your child's unique needs, factoring in their age, temperament, and developmental stage. Achieving this level of adaptiveness in your responses requires introspection, understanding the motivations behind behaviors, and mindful communication. First up, let's talk about the importance of self-reflection. Imagine your daughter comes home with a less than stellar math grade. It's all too easy to fall into the trap of frustration, especially if academic struggles seem like a recurring theme in your household. However, by pausing to check in with your own feelings and reactions, you can approach the situation from a place of calm and reason. Recognizing external factors, like her recent illness and missed classes, allows you to address the issue constructively, offering support rather than criticism. Next is the pursuit of understanding, or as we like to call it, chasing the why. This involves delving into the root cause of your child's actions. Suppose you're informed that your son has been disruptive during class by shouting out to get laughs from his peers. Rather than resorting to immediate reprimand, engaging him in a conversation could reveal his desire for peer approval or to lighten the classroom atmosphere. Understanding his motives empowers you to guide him towards more appropriate ways to fulfill these needs. Finally, consider the how in your approach. The manner in which you frame directives can significantly influence your child's receptiveness. Take the bedtime standoff as an example. Instead of issuing an ultimatum that frames story time as a bargaining chip, suggest a more positive outcome-oriented choice. This not only increases cooperation but also fosters a more positive atmosphere, reducing the likelihood of conflict. This threefold strategy emphasizes the importance of adaptive discipline, not just in managing immediate behaviors, but also in nurturing long-term relationship and behavior patterns. Through self-awareness, empathy, and effective communication, you set the stage for a respectful and constructive parent-child dynamic, modeling behaviors and interactions that your child is likely to emulate in their dealings with others. Part 6. Nurturing positive change, the role of mindsight in behavioral adjustment. Guiding your children towards a path of positive emotional and relational growth requires more than just traditional discipline. It demands the cultivation of mindsight. Mindsight, a transformative blend of insight and empathy, empowers individuals to navigate conflicts and challenges with understanding and compassion. To scaffold the development of mindsight in your child, begin with empathy, driven discipline accompanied by insightful conversations. Imagine your daughter has a meltdown after her toy is taken by another child. Rather than defaulting to punitive measures, engage her in a reflective dialogue. It seems like you were really upset when your toy was taken. Is that what you were feeling? This approach validates her emotional experience, fostering a deeper sense of self-awareness. Another powerful tool in nurturing mindsight is the practice of empathy. Instead of scolding your child for causing another child distress, gently draw attention to the impacted child's emotions. Encourage your child to put themselves in the other's shoes, which cultivates an empathetic understanding of the consequences of their actions. Moving beyond insight and empathy, actively involving your child in rectifying their missteps can further solidify mindsight outcomes. Consider the story of 12-year-old Neela. After repeatedly using her phone past bedtime, her parents, Steve and Bella, were faced with choosing an appropriate disciplinary action. Rather than immediately confiscating the phone, they engaged Neela in identifying a solution. Ultimately, Neela herself proposed leaving her phone in a different room at bedtime, turning a disciplinary moment into an opportunity for responsible decision-making. This approach underscores a crucial aspect of effective parenting. There is no universal remedy for misbehavior. By treating each incident as a learning opportunity and involving your child in the process of making amends, you not only address the immediate issue, but also lay the groundwork for fewer instances of misbehavior in the future. Through the practice of mindsight, children learn not only to correct their actions, but also to internalize the values of empathy, insight, and responsibility. Part 7. Redirecting behavior with a positive spin. Avoid lectures and embrace encouragement. Navigating the tricky terrain of saying no while still fostering a supportive environment for your child involves an understanding of nuanced communication techniques. Every child and every situation demands a unique approach, yet certain strategies stand universally effective in guiding behavior in a positive direction. A vital tactic is emphasizing the positive aspects of a scenario, transforming a straightforward no into a conditional yes. Imagine your child protests leaving a beloved family member's home. Instead of a curt dismissal, Try painting a picture of future joy. I understand you want to stay longer. How about we plan another visit soon? This technique validates their feelings while gently steering them towards acceptance, teaching them to manage disappointment gracefully. Similarly, when confronting less desirable behavior like whining, instead of commanding silence, guide your child towards more constructive expression. Encourage them to use their strong voice or polite words, directly teaching effective communication skills in lieu of simply pointing out what not to do. Moreover, the art of redirection is much about what you don't say as what you do. Lectures, though tempting as a way to convey the gravity of a situation, often fall on deaf ears, especially with children. If, for example, your son has been absorbed in video games to the detriment of his homework, initiate a dialogue that encourages self-reflection rather than one-sided admonishment. Pose open-ended questions that invite him to evaluate his actions and propose solutions, fostering a sense of responsibility and critical thinking. Engaging in this manner accomplishes two significant outcomes. It minimizes confrontation, reducing the chances of defensive reactions, and it empowers your child to take ownership of their choices and their consequences. This approach to discipline, centered around positive reinforcement and constructive interaction, lays the groundwork for a relationship built on mutual respect. It teaches important life skills, such as empathy and consideration for others' perspectives, enriching the child's emotional and social development for years to come. Final summary. The essence of effective parenting lies not within the strict boundaries of traditional discipline, but within the transformative approach of nurturing your child's emotional and social development. Instead of resorting to punitive measures that stir fear or resentment, true discipline unfolds as an enriching opportunity to guide your children toward mastering the art of relationships and behavior management. This enlightened method emphasizes the importance of engaging the more sophisticated functions of their brain, referred to as the upstairs brain, which governs emotions, empathy, and decision-making. A cornerstone of this approach involves the threefold practice of listening to your child with an open heart, validating their feelings without judgment, and offering them the comfort of your presence and understanding. These actions create a safe space for children to express themselves and feel heard, fostering a deep and meaningful connection between parent and child. Flexibility in your reactions plays a pivotal role in this dynamic. By tailoring your responses to the unique needs of your child, considering their temperament and developmental stage, you're better equipped to handle disciplinary moments with grace and effectiveness. The goal is to gently steer your child back onto the path of positive behavior through understanding and guided discovery rather than coercion or lectures. Moreover, developing mindsight, the ability to empathize with others and understand the internal workings of one's own mind, is a critical skill that should be encouraged through every disciplinary interaction. By promoting mindsight, you equip your child with the tools necessary for emotional intelligence, self-regulation, and the capacity to navigate life's challenges with grace. In summary, the transformative power of no-drama discipline lies in its ability to redirect children's misbehavior into learning moments that build better relationship skills, behavioral intelligence, and emotional resilience. Through connecting, understanding, and guiding, we can illuminate the path toward good behavior, sculpting the minds and hearts of our children for a brighter, more empathetic future. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.